Conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks! Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast that makes me absolutely sob! I am Dan O'Keefe, and joining me as always, dressed in her Batman onesie, it's Anna
My business
Otto.
Batman onesie.
How are you, Anna?
Dan, my life hasn't known peace since I watched this movie. I literally cried so much that I can still hear, like, not really, because Gage is definitely asleep right now, but I can hear him sighing heavily because of how much I cried while watching this movie. Gage is not into sappy movies.
Oh.
He was not happy I made him watch this with me.
And
he kept going. Oh, sorry.
No, you finish your story.
I was going to say, he kept going, if I'm a bird, you're a bird, like every 2 seconds. Did you watch this with Anna?
I didn't, no.
I'm guessing so.
Or
with Poppy?
Not even with Poppy either. Poppy was asleep under a blanket that she crawled into thinking that it was like a fort or something. It was very cute. I have a video
that's
I can send
adorable.
you.
Please do.
And then put it on the Facebook and like the Instagram
Absolutely.
and stuff. The world needs to see this. But
I will.
no, I started watching it today at 3:30. I preempted Adam 12 for this. That's how important it was. And Anna, she always goes to the gym, and she left at like around 5 today. So there was about half an hour left in the movie. And then when she got back, I was talking to her about it, and she was like, I knew there was a perfect time to leave. Because what was left in the last 30 minutes of the movie, she was like, either he is going to not care about this at all, or he is going to break down.
Oh, no.
And he will want to be alone for that. And let me tell you, she was right.
There's one part of this movie that gets me every time, and I think you know exactly what part it is. Not the end, but before the end.
Is it when Heath Ledger goes, I wish I knew how to quit you?
Oh my god, how did you know? How did you know?
I'm pretty sure I know what part it is. And
yeah, no spoilers for this old movie.
Yeah, for this 17-year-old movie.
Is it really 17 years
2004.
old? I'm shook.
Yeah, it's almost a year away from graduating high school.
Oh, God. So today at the doggy daycare, I was training our new employee, and he's 17. Mm-hmm. And we were washing dishes, washing dog bowls together at the end of the night, as you do. And I was talking to him. I don't even remember how we got on this subject, but I asked him what year because he told me he was 17. And I was like, wait, what year were you born in? He goes, 2003. And I was like, what? And then we were talking about music. And I was like, my favorite band is Fall Out Boy. And he goes, oh, I think I've heard of them. I don't know any of their songs. But I've heard of them. Dan, we were listening to radio. I turned it off. I put on Dance Dance. I went, please tell me you know this song. Please tell me you know this song. He's like, I don't know. Maybe when he starts singing, I'll recognize it. I was like, what in tarnation is going on? What are they playing at your dances? What are they playing at prom these days?
Yeah, because back at our proms, it was strictly Fall Out Boy.
Strictly Fall Out Boy. Just kidding. More like my middle school dance. It was strictly Fall Out Boy. I said the year he was born, this boy, that's when I had my peak outfit of leggings under a denim skirt with a layered shirt on top and Ugg boots.
Well, think about it. When Fall Out Boy came back when we were in high school, I think you were a freshman in college.
No, I was a senior in high school.
He was 9?
Please don't say that to me.
He was 10, so he was he wouldn't have cared about this band getting back together. It wasn't the stuff he listened to in his childhood. It was like, okay, the band that my dad probably listened to is back together. No, I've heard people say that.
God.
I was on TikTok because I'm a youth, the most elderly youth in the world, and I saw a video and it was like a 17-year-old reacting to music, like a 90s 2000s music challenge. Oh my gosh.
No.
The music, it was like, it had like Ride With Me on it. It had Drops of Jupiter. It had Hey Ya. She didn't recognize any of them.
Oh, God.
I
No.
weep that there will be a generation that doesn't know Smooth by Santana featuring Rob Thomas. The song of the
I ever
summer
tell you?
for the past 21 years.
When I worked at the radio station, there was somebody who would call every day and request that song.
Yeah, it was me.
Was it you, Dan?
I wish. I would have.
Oh, God. No, for real. Dan. I'm shook.
I know-
don't even know how we got on this topic, but I'm just really flabbergasted.
Do you want to know some more fun things about
Yes.
17-year-olds or 16-year-olds, things from 2004? So,
Yes.
The Notebook, which is the movie we're talking about, I realized I haven't said that yet, but if you
Oh,
look
yeah.
at
Hi.
the title of the podcast, it's The Notebook. Woohoo! Came out the same year as Mean Girls. Banner year for Rachel
Wow,
McAdams.
Yeah, big year for Rachel McAdams. That's 2 blockbusters right there.
Absolutely. And it also came out the same year as the Nintendo DS.
I had one. It was pink.
Ooh.
I had the Nintendo DS Lite.
I had a gold one. It had like the Zelda Triforce on it. I never play Zelda,
Oh.
but it was the one that my parents
Oh.
got from GameStop, I think.
The stocks.
The market.
Yeah. No, I had a pink one, and I liked to play Nintendogs on it in true middle school girl fashion.
Absolutely. Also came out in 2004 was Spider-Man 2. And I think the Michael Jackson trial was 2004.
Oh,
Big year.
Really?
Big year.
big year, 2004. Wow,
And there's-
a lot of really culturally important things happened that year.
And definitely something related to Paris Hilton happened that year.
Paris Hilton existed in 2004. Things were still hot in 2004.
I think this will be my last thing. I think that Entourage debuted in 2004, which I only bring up
Entourage.
because I've been watching Entourage and I think it's fun. It hasn't aged well, as I mentioned before on a previous podcast. But
You did.
But also Kevin Connolly, who plays E on Entourage, he is in this movie, in The Notebook. He's the friend.
Oh, the friend is kind of like low-key, high-key cute. That's
He's a short
surprising
king.
to
Of
me.
course you love him.
Stop coming for me. I love short men. Stop coming for me. If he's over 6 feet, I don't want it.
Well, look who you just lost. This hulking Tarzan of a man. You've lost me.
Well, don't worry. I want you to know, I said Gage was 5'11" on our last episode. When he heard that, he stomped into the room and went, I'm 5'9", baby. And walked back out. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I gave you an extra 2 inches, my short king. I didn't mean to.
That's how you know he's a keeper, because everybody else is like, yeah, no, I'm 6 foot, and then they're 5'5".
Nah, I'm like trash. Boo. I like him short.
So, as we said, we're talking about The Notebook, and The Notebook was released in 2004, directed by Nick Cassavetes, who was the son of director John Cassavetes, who directed The Dirty Dozen and Rosemary's Baby. Sorry, no, he starred in The Dirty Dozen and Rosemary's Baby. He was an actor.
Oh, okay.
Because
Still, I've heard of both of those things.
yeah, who directed Rosemary's Baby?
I've never seen it. I just have heard
Roman
of it.
Polanski.
Oh my goodness.
I know so much.
Sorry, I was yawning, but then I instantly thought of the Manson
Yeah.
girls and all the many documentaries I've watched.
So the movie was written by Jeremy Levin, based on, of course, The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. It stars Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams' Smile, James Garner, Nick Cassavetes' mom, Gina Rowlands, James Marsden, Kevin Connolly, the author of True West, Sam Shepard, and
Really?
yeah,
He wrote True West?
yes, he did.
I didn't know that. Ugh. He really had to do that to us, huh? Okay.
And it also stars Joan Allen. It was released on June 25th, 2004, With a budget of $29 million, it made $116.1 million on Rotten Tomatoes. It only has a score of 53%, but Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 stars out of 4.
Really?
Calling the photography striking in its rich, saturated effects, and that the actors are blessed by good material.
Yeah, they truly are. I mean, I think the costumes are beautiful. I'll say that right off the bat. I think Nicholas Sparks, in a similar yet different fashion to our good friend Stephen King, whose books all take place in one location except for the two, The Shining and Doctor Sleep. Nicholas Sparks, all his books take place in, I believe, North Carolina, because that's where he's from. And, I mean, if you try to tell me that North Carolina isn't a beautiful place to be filming stuff, you're wrong.
You're absolutely wrong.
There's just a lot of beautiful scenery going on there. So I feel like it wouldn't be hard to have beautiful cinematography for a movie in North Carolina. Thank you. Yes.
So I had never seen The Notebook, because why would I have seen The Notebook?
But wait, this was your first time?
This was my first time watching it.
Oh my God, Dan. No wonder you wanted to watch it.
Right? Well, I didn't want to watch it. I didn't watch it until today.
You picked
I
it.
know, but I thought it would be funny to watch it and be like, what a boring, what a bad, what a stupid,
it's not bad
movie.
or boring, Dan.
I will get to that. I put it off. I didn't start watching it until 3:40 or whatever. Why did I put it off?
I don't know, Dan.
Because we just watched National Treasure. This is miles and miles better than National Treasure.
Yes.
I know that's not a high bar to clear, but oh my gosh, I loved this. This was great.
People can talk crap about this movie because it's a sappy romance movie, and that makes it inherently a quote-unquote not a movie of substance. You know what I mean?
A quote chick flick.
Yeah, but I mean, it has actors in it that are well liked by people from all walks of life. I mean, you could go up, maybe not Rachel McAdams, but if you went up to any random person and you said Regina George, they would know who that is. And that's Rachel McAdams, so she's clearly a well-known actress. And people know who Ryan Gosling is, you know? Like, it's famous people.
Yeah.
And the movie itself, like, everybody knows. You might not have seen it, you might not know what it's about, but everybody knows that The Notebook is a romantic film. Like, people have heard of it. It's a staple. I mean, like, I don't know. It's definitely the most popular of Nicholas Sparks's books. I'd say it's probably the most, well, I guess The Last Song is probably up there, but I never saw that one, actually. Well, one with Miley Cyrus. And I think he did Charlie St. Cloud.
No, Charlie St. Cloud was
he did
something
a different one.
But
He did a different one
Yeah.
that had Zac Efron in it, though, didn't he?
I'm not sure, but I was just looking at like the reception of all of his movies, and The Notebook by far has the best reviews of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, considering A Walk to Remember, which we'll be doing next week, the biggest star in it is Mandy Moore.
Not just Mandy Moore, but also the sets from Dawson's Creek, because they were filmed in the same location.
No. Hate it. Thanks. Hate it. But I don't know. I mean, like, this is just a well-known film. When you think of romance movies, you're always going to think of The Notebook.
Yeah.
As one of your top thoughts.
Yeah, it's like The Notebook and From Here to Eternity.
And also every Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan film.
Yes, Joe versus the Volcano especially. I think a real reason why this was so reviled and like mocked for a time is because teen girls liked it. And people love to hate what teen girls like.
Which is so stupid because guess what? When you go back through history and you look at the things that teen girls have liked, generally that's renowned as one of the most successful, like the Beatles.
The Beatles, Frank Sinatra, stuff like that.
I mean, let's make it modern. Who was the biggest boy band in the world in the last few years?
One Direction.
Yes, and before that, who was were men and women alike excited to see the reunition of
NSYNC.
reuniting
Of NSYNC.
I made up a word. No, I was talking about the Jonas Brothers,
Okay.
but okay.
Well, I'm on a different age length than you.
NSYNC did not recently get back together.
They did
but
at the
okay.
VMAs in like 2015
I
for
guess
20
that
minutes.
counts. Fine, that counts, I guess.
Thank you.
But you know what I mean? Like, these are all these things that people make fun of, but then you go back in time and people, like, everybody has a favorite NSYNC or Backstreet Boys song.
Yeah.
Everybody our age has a favorite Jonas Brothers song and could probably pick out, like, a One Direction song that they actually really like.
Yeah.
And movies and TV shows that teen girls like. It's so irritating because I was definitely
a teen girl.
Sorry, I got scared because my neighbor came home and they opened their door, but it sounded like they were opening my door and I thought somebody was breaking in. I got really scared. Anyway, back to conversation about music. You know, I was one of those girls that was super into One Direction and people would make fun of me for it because I liked them.
Mm-hmm.
And I always got on my nerves because I'm like, if they're so stupid and terrible, and Justin Bieber too, like all those kinds of things, if they're so stupid and terrible, why is their stuff like literally flying off the shelves?
Yeah.
Why are people unable to like meet them because there'll be an absolute riot? Like people like, oh, I'm heated. Dan,
Yeah,
I'm heated.
it's not like
I think it's so unfair to make fun of kids for things that they like if they're popular.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's so stupid.
What they're saying is that, like, teen girls, and I focus specifically on teen girls because I've noticed it a lot more with girls than guys because, obviously, they're saying that, like, teen girls don't have taste. It's like, no, they just don't have your taste, and that doesn't make it bad.
And a lot of teenagers, especially, and teen girls, they control the market.
Oh my gosh, like, yes. BTS.
Big time. Oh my god. Oh my god, don't even. But like, yeah, they control music and all kinds of media. That market is definitely controlled by teen girls and their parents who are buying them things. And if you don't think that's true, you're a fool. I'm sorry. Not to make a sweeping statement, but it's true. So,
speaking of sweeping, and teen girls. At the 2005 Teen Choice Awards,
yes,
this movie ran away with everything. Not only
that doesn't surprise me.
Did it win Choice Movie Love Scene, Choice Movie Lip Lock, and Choice Movie Chemistry. It also won Choice Movie Breakout Performance Male. For Ryan Gosling, along with Choice Movie Actor Drama, Choice Movie Actress Drama, Rachel McAdams, Choice Date Movie, and Choice Movie Drama.
What can I say? It really did come through. It did not play. It played for keeps.
It did.
That movie was not here to joke around. It was here to win.
And like me, it won the MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss.
Yeah, you won that, Dan?
I did, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
To you.
I'm not going to tell you in what it was.
I'm rolling with it. I tried to think of something clever to say back, but since I created the word reunition today, I think my brain's done. So,
I'm conflicted right now because I want to say let's get into the movie. But running through the plot of this doesn't really do it justice. Because when you run through the plot, it's every romantic trope that you could think of. Just kind of like back to back to back. Like, you've got the rich girl with the poor boy who break up and then come back together. Like, that's it. So I think it might be more constructive and like a better conversation if we just like talk about specific memorable points instead of running through the whole plot.
Sounds good to me because I got my memorable point fresh in my mind right now.
Well, go ahead.
And I'm already okay. It's not at the beginning.
That's
though.
fine. We're gonna bounce around through this. There will be spoilers for The Notebook, as if there aren't spoilers for every movie that we ever talk about.
Yeah, y'all, if you haven't seen The Notebook yet, pause the podcast. Even though you think it's gonna suck and be painful, it's gonna suck and be painful for reasons that you weren't expecting.
Turn this back on when you're sobbing as the credits are
Yeah,
rolling.
for real. Get your Puffs Plus lotion ready. That's my preferred brand of tissue because I got a sensitive nose. Okay. The part that makes me the most upset, and like I had already been crying a lot through this movie. I told one of my friends, I was like, listen, I am in a stable, happy relationship, but every time I watch this movie, I cry and I'm like, love isn't real because love isn't like this. And I'm like crying my eyes out, and Gage is like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, so much. And like crying and then I finish the movie and I'm like, well, back to real life. I'm fine now. But anyway, this is like how I love to listen to what Gage calls sad boy Saturday music, where it's like all about my life is terrible and my girlfriend or boyfriend dumped me and love isn't real. And he's like, you good? And I'm like, yes, I'm in a happy, stable relationship. I have a good life. I just like this kind of music. Okay, the part that makes me the most upset is when Noah and Allie are in the nursing home and they're old, and he's reading her the story of their life, and they're having a romantic candlelit dinner that he and the nursing staff set up for her. And she comes back to him, and she's like, how much time do we have? And he's like, I don't know, last time it was only 5 minutes. And they're dancing. I'm crying. I'll Be Seeing You is such a beautiful song. My high school jazz choir sang it. And then all of a sudden she snaps back to her illness. She doesn't remember who she is or who he is. She has a complete meltdown. The nurses are called in. I'm crying my eyes out. I have to excuse myself and pause the film because I literally could not look at the screen. I had to cover my eyes. I was so upset.
Yeah.
That part, I remember the first time I saw The Notebook, I like started the movie halfway through because it was on TV or something. And that was the part I saw, and I was like, I'm never watching this again. That part just kills me.
That is the part that got me. Like the Ryan Gosling-Rachel McAdams romance stuff. Very romantic. Very, I've never had a relationship like this. What gives?
It's Dan, I'll say it right now. This sort of stuff, beautiful. Nicholas Sparks, toxic for writing these books. Okay, that's not how real life works. It's just not. It's toxic. I blame this for the reason why I, like, when I was younger, I thought I should have a whirlwind romance with somebody. And then I got into my first relationship and it was nothing like that. And I was like, what the heck? Now I'm old and I'm normal and don't care as much anymore because I know what real love is. But I know what love is. What is that from? Oh, that's from Forrest Gump. Anyway.
But as I was saying, that stuff, it's very nice. It's very sweet. It's very romantic. It didn't get me. I was just like, okay, that's fine. But oh my gosh. Yeah. When it was that scene, when they were having the dinner and she remembered, tears welling up, started coming out. And I was like, oh my gosh. Why are they doing this to me? This is...
Get Nicholas Sparks on the phone.
This is the saddest thing I have seen in a movie. Because especially because the things that get me are old people in movies, like old couples. To come back to
well, we love a good old couple.
To come back to another equally romantic movie in Avengers Endgame. When
I can't even stand you right now.
I only thought about this. It's when Captain America goes back in time and he has that dance with Peggy.
I think I've seen that scene. I've never actually seen Endgame. I've only seen the first one.
Okay, spoilers. You know what happens.
That's okay. Honestly, Dan, it's been long enough. I should have... Like, I already know who dies in that movie because I watched the trailer for the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Gage was like, don't watch it. We haven't seen Endgame yet. And I went, oops, and watched it anyway because I love Spider-Man.
But in Endgame, that was the only thing that got me like a little choked up because it's old people and seeing old people happy. It makes me happy. I always like to see that because normally when you see old people, they're like, just let me die.
Yes, I've seen Titanic.
And then when she snapped back to having her memories, like the one synapse connected in her brain, it was just like snap back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity. Okay, continue. Sorry, that's what my brain said.
My heart just exploded. I was like, oh, don't do this to Maverick. Don't do this to us. And then at the end, because at the end they pass away together.
In each other's
In each
arms,
other's
which
arms.
that part's a little tacky for me.
A little,
but yeah.
that's a little corny, but I was still like, I'm in this fairy tale world. I'm going along with it.
I'll buy it. All right, I'll bite.
Oh my gosh. So sad.
Honestly, Noah was on his deathbed anyway. He had 3 heart attacks in the last month. Are you kidding me? There was no way that man was going to live another week. I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but... Whew.
Do you recognize the actor who played Noah?
No, why?
Okay.
Should I?
Well, did you ever watch 8 Simple Rules?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I was busy watching Seventh Heaven, if we're talking about shows with numbers in them.
Okay, did you ever watch Maverick?
No.
Or The Rockford Files?
I've been to Rockford.
Yeah, not the same at all. That's James Garner.
Oh, is he related to Jennifer?
No.
Oh.
I know, very disappointing. But he was Maverick in Maverick.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's an actual good actor.
Yeah. I thought he was good in this. Wait a second.
Oh, he was good in this. I just mean like he's actually an actor, not like just a no-name they pulled for this scene.
Oh, yeah. No, he was like Maverick was one of the top 5 shows in the 50s.
Oh, there it is. Of course I haven't seen it, Dan. It's from the 50s.
Show.
And you know my grandparents only watch Gunsmoke.
No, I can't get into Gunsmoke.
My parents only watch Have Gun Will Travel, so...
Okay. You remember the movie Atlantis, the Disney movie?
Yes, absolutely.
He is the voice of Commander Rourke.
Oh.
In the... Is it the first? Yeah, wait. I'm confused.
I've only seen the first Atlantis,
yeah,
so
he's
I don't
the
know
voice.
if there is a second one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page right now just because he's the voice, but it says... Oh, sorry, I was reading on too far. So yeah, it's James Garner, and then the woman who plays the elderly version of Rachel McAdams, as I said, is the mother of the director, Nick Cassavetes. She is still alive. She's 90.
She's beautiful.
In
this movie, she's beautiful.
She was born in Cambria, Wisconsin.
A queen. A dairy queen. I would have known.
You knew it?
I would have guessed. She's beautiful. How could I not have known it? All women from Wisconsin are beautiful queens.
Sure.
Dan, you're dating a woman from Wisconsin.
I am.
She's a beautiful queen. The end. Thank you.
Is she a 3-time Emmy winner?
I don't know. Are you going to stop dating Anna because she hasn't won any Emmys yet?
Well, Gina Rowlands is a 3-time Emmy winner.
Okay.
And she's from Wisconsin. I don't know where I'm going with this. Another thing that got me, not emotionally, or in a different emotional reaction, was right at the beginning when we see the first flashback of Ryan Gosling trying to ask out Rachel McAdams.
Oh,
he doesn't really get enthusiastic consent.
Let me just put it to you this way. For a lot of this movie, I feel like Noah and Allie are just manipulating each other. Because people like the idea of, we were so different, but we loved each other anyway. When in reality, I feel like people who fight that much rarely, work out.
Yeah.
And people who aren't that excited about each other in some way or another rarely work out. I don't know. I mean, Gage and I are pretty similar, and so I guess I can't really compare anything in my life to that. I feel like you and Anna have very similar interests too. But I feel like all of the people I know who are in relationships, my parents are pretty different in their interests, but they have things that they like to do together. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is a couple that had 0 similar interests at all.
They had one similar interest.
What was it? Making out?
Make it out, baby.
Yeah, that's it. Other than that, they're kind of manipulative of each other.
They are. In reality, they would be the couple who fight in the middle of Walmart.
No.
You know they would, though.
I don't have the energy. I don't. And you're like the third wheel friend that's like, ugh. It's like that. Have you seen that thing that's like when you're in the car with your friends and they're in the front seat, or when you're in the car with your couple friends and they're in the front seat fighting and they start threatening to drive off the road, and the boy is like, I'll drive this car off the road, I don't care. And the girl goes, yeah, kill both of us, see if I care. And you're in the back seat like,
I care.
I care. Oh God, me explaining jokes. Welcome back to the podcast.
Did you know that Ryan Gosling, for 2 months to prepare for this movie, lived alone in South Carolina and built the table that they eat off of for dinner?
Wow, how rustic of
Right?
him. Did you notice that Gage noticed right away that they made him wear brown contacts to look more like the older
Look
actor?
more like Maverick, James Garner.
Yeah, because Gage was watching the movie and he's like, wait a second. Where's Ryan Gosling's baby blues? Literally a direct quote from Gage.
Well,
And I said, does he have blue eyes? I had to Google
the
it.
director cast him because he said, we were looking for someone who's not really good looking, but is like a regular guy. And I was like,
false.
And you came up with Ryan Gosling?
I've never seen a regular guy that looks like that in my life.
Very attractive.
False. Please tell me where these regular guys that look like, well, I have my boyfriend, you know, I'm not trying to leave him, but tell me where they are, because I just want to see.
Are you kidding me?
You know, I just want to.
Tell me where I know where they come from. They come from Canada, because Rachel McAdams,
You're right.
They grew up in the same town, I think.
Okay, Dan, we're going to have to take a pilgrimage, because I just want to talk to the genetics there, you know? I just want to be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, they both...
Why are you all so hot?
They were both born in London, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, I didn't know Rachel McAdams was Canadian at all. I'm telling you, Dan, go watch Fire Saga. You're going to love it. Rachel McAdams is super cute in it, and it has Will Ferrell, which I also enjoy, and Demi Lovato.
Ooh.
Yeah.
My three favorite people.
Demi Lovato is my woman crush. I think she's so gorgeous.
Did you think throughout the movie that... Well, you have seen this before, so maybe this question
Yes, multiple times.
I kept thinking that something was going to go wrong for one of them. Like, when Ryan Gosling went off to war, instead of E from Entourage dying, I thought he would get, like, an injury. Not, like, a really bad one, but, like, maybe, like, a bullet through the shoulder or something, and then she would be his nurse.
Since I'd seen it before, it's been a long time since the very first time I saw it, but I knew James Marsden was in it, and I knew that he was, like, in the army, and that she met him somehow. I couldn't remember the exact details, but then, like, as soon as they showed her being a nurse and holding up, like, a burn victim, I was like, James Marsden. Also a beautiful man. And my thing that I was wondering is that I knew somebody in, like, one of the parents in the movie was a jerk, but I couldn't remember who. So when she first went to Noah's house and his dad was there and his dad was talking, I was like, wait, is the dad abusive? No, that's not it.
No, the dad's really nice.
Met her dad. Yeah, and then we met her dad, and I was like, is he abusive? No, that's not it. And then we met the mom, and I went, is she abusive? And they went, no, she's just an a-hole. Like, so that's where I was at. I was trying to remember, because I knew about the letters, and I couldn't remember where that fit in, and I couldn't remember which, like, it's been a while since I watched it, because it's not my favorite Nicholas Sparks book or movie, even though, you know, we'll be talking about mine next week. But, yeah, I couldn't remember which character was toxic besides, you know, the main toxicity.
Yeah, she was... The minute she showed up on screen, I was like, this woman... She's evil. I don't know what she's going to do that's evil, but she is definitely the stereotypical Southern mother who's going to be like, no, you must marry Consort Beauregard, and he will give you all the money that you need in the world. Don't marry one of the paws. They don't even wear shoes.
Oh, Dan, I just looked at my notes again, and I do see myself writing, Noah's dad is so cute, I'm worried there's something bad there. I can't remember, and I'm nervous. So, there you go. And then in all caps, I put, it's the mom later on.
Dun, dun, dun. But getting back to James Marsden, always the bridesmaid.
I've never left. Never the bride, except for in 27 Dresses.
Is he?
Yeah, he gets married at the end of 27 Dresses.
Okay, I hadn't seen that one. I knew he was in it, though.
Oh, yeah, no, he's writing an article about what's-her-face, who's always a bridesmaid, never a bride, and at the end they get married, and all of her bridesmaids wear all the dresses from all the different weddings. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen that romantic comedy, that's a million years old.
It's newer than this.
Is it really?
3 years. It came out in 2007.
Oh, wow. But still, has James Marsden with slightly longer hair in it.
James Marsden was in Sonic the Hedgehog last year.
Yes, he was. I just watched that movie a few weeks ago.
He was, I assume his character in that movie is supposed to be like late 20s, early 30s, right? James Marsden is 47.
Oh! He has not aged a day. He's aging like a fine wine. He's on the show Dead to Me that I watched with my mom. And when he died... Okay, spoiler
he dies.
Sorry. But then he's not dead because they wrote him back in.
Yeah, his twin.
As his own twin brother.
A very soap opera plot.
Yeah. But Double also, he's in Hairspray.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's just a man of many talents.
Who would you have rather Rachel McAdams ended up with then? Ryan Gosling or... I don't even know what his character's name is. Either of them. Well, I know Noah.
Noah.
I do not know what James Marsden's character's name is. It's just James Marsden.
Lonnie. It's Lonnie.
Oh, like Lon Chaney.
But I always call him James. Yeah, but his name's James Marsden.
Yeah.
Please.
Like, she probably said his name when he was introduced, but I was busy swooning.
Yeah, no, they talk. I only remember it's Lon because she talks about like his business and stuff when he comes back from the war and he's doing stuff with his family, I think. Here's the thing. Her family loved Lon.
Yes.
And they loved him, yeah, because he was cut from the same cloth as them. But also, he seems like when she tells him the truth about Noah, he handles it very even-headedly.
Yes.
I don't think that's that's not a word, but you know what I mean? Like, he's very level-headed. He's very calm. He doesn't lash out at her. He just is like, well, you gotta make a choice. Like, I'm not making it for you. You gotta make a choice.
Yeah.
And he's very, like, no offense to the 40s, but I would have expected a lot more slapping, you know?
First of all, as a child of the 40s...
Yes.
You are absolutely correct.
Thank you.
There should have been much more slapping. And Rachel McAdams has far too much agency in this film.
A woman allowed to do things on her own.
How old is she when she's getting married? 26?
Yeah, probably 26.
Elderly.
No, not even. 24?
Elderly.
Yeah, truly. I mean, my grandparents got married at 16 and 18, and that was in the 50s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think it was 16 and 18. But anyway.
Okay. But yeah, you're right. This is definitely written from the lens of somebody who was not conscious at that time. I don't think... Nicholas Sparks is 55, so he wasn't even alive during this.
No. He wasn't. He's writing this. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but he's writing this through a lens as someone who has more respect for women.
Yes, he's also writing this through a lens of Happy Days.
True. He is. Yeah, like the part where Noah's current girlfriend comes over to say hello to him or to like freak with him, and he's like, "You can't come in," and she's like, she's the one, isn't she? Can I meet her? And she comes in and meets Allie, and they all are gung-ho friends about
Very
it. I was like,
hunky-dory.
never in my life. Are you kidding me? Never.
Oh, you're cheating on me? Can I meet her? I want to be friends.
No, not a chance. And she's like, she's wonderful. I haven't, like, this has given me hope that I'll find someone as good as my husband who passed away during the war. I'm like, she is handling this with way more grace than any actual human being on the face of the earth ever would.
Yes.
I don't know. That scene, fake. The scene where James Marsden is told that he's being cheated on, fake. I love James Marsden, though. Love him.
Absolutely. Which one of the dates do you think is either A, the most realistic, B, the most likely to get them killed, or C, none of the above? The first date that they go on where they go to the movies and they lie down in the middle of the street.
Oh, don't even. I'm heated already.
The date where they go to get freaky in the abandoned plantation house.
Not a chance. Too many ghosts.
The date where they go rowing across the lake with all the ducks.
Beautiful. Excuse me. Look at all those chickens, is what I said when that scene came on.
Which one of those, of all the dates, which one would you like to go on the most?
I think I would like to go, like, in a boat ride. I like going on boats. I mean, I like pontooning. I like speedboating. I've kayaked and canoed before. I don't think Gage would like that one. He's afraid of the water. Oh, he's gonna be so mad that I just told that. He's not afraid of, like, the water. He gets scared because one time when he was little, so I'm gonna tell an embarrassing story about Gage. He used to get made fun of by his brother and his cousin when he was little because they would all go up to this lake house, which I went to last summer, and it was super fun. But he wouldn't get in the water because one time he got in the water and he felt the weeds, and Gage is really, really scared of snakes, and he thought they were snakes. And his brother and his cousin made fun of him so much that their grandma pulled over and made his brother and his cousin Bailey walk.
Oh my gosh.
Like, back to their house from the ice cream shop. Yeah. So
okay, I'm sorry. What a very 1950s story that was.
I mean, it was not that
Grandma
far.
Bailey pulled over and made me and the cousin walk home from the ice cream shop. Our rocky road was dripping over our fingers. The cone couldn't hold it up long enough.
Well, I'll tell you, this place was in the middle of nowhere, so, like, it's kind of like that. But, no, it was super fun, but I would love to row around in a boat like that all day, but Gage is not really... He's an indoors kid. He's a self-proclaimed indoors kid, so he would not like that date. He'd like the movie theater date, minus the part where we lay in the road. He would not do that.
Okay. Of the three, I think that the part where they lay in the road is the thing that was most interesting to me. I don't know why. There was just something about it.
I would never. Aren't you scared? Like, I'd be so scared the whole time.
You can hear cars coming. Cars aren't quiet.
I don't care. I'm scared of cars. I'm not trying to get hit.
Yeah. Well, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, I'll catch me in a boat with all the chickens. I'm good.
I think the boat would be fun. I would be really. I would not have the same reaction when it starts raining that they do. I would be so pissed.
Yeah, I think I'd be mad too, but I don't know. Like, I've been in a canoe when it started raining and it's absolutely miserable.
Oh, canoe.
But thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
But minus the raining part, I think I'd like it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Why would you want to lay in the street, though?
I don't know. It was just something about it. Watching that scene, I was like, that seems like something interesting that I would do. I don't know why. Maybe I was thinking back to, like, when I was in high school and thinking, like, man, that would have been fun to do when I was in high school. When I was...
Yeah, because I'm thinking of you in college. I'm like, were you going to take somebody to lay in the middle of Wisconsin Avenue,
just
Dan?
Run over by a bus.
Hey, baby, want to lay on 16th in Wisconsin with me?
Lay on 16th in Wisconsin, you'll get run over by 5 different cars going 5 different directions.
Yeah. And a bus.
Yeah.
Like, the bus will hit you, stop, back up and hit you
The
again.
bus will hit you,
Like,
and then because it's the kneeling bus in front, it will lower on top of you.
kneel on you. No, not the kneeling bus.
Hey, if one thing can be said about the Milwaukee County transit system, it does not stop.
Okay, I think I heard somewhere that Wisconsin has the quote-unquote kindest transit system drivers in the country.
They're nice, I think.
I mean,
I've
I
never
just heard that we
paid.
have one of the best transit systems. You never paid?
No, I always the dollar bill that I use repeatedly is crinkled and it won't go in. They're just like, yeah, you fine, go ahead. Did I just
They think you're
perjure
a poor
myself?
college kid. They're like, Dan, you look like a poor college kid. I always took Uber because I got lost on the buses once and I was scarred for life. And also another time I was coming back from a service learning where I was teaching English, and one of my students, who was like a middle-aged woman, fell while the bus was stopping. And that was pretty scarring. So I don't really want to take the bus anymore. It's not like for any reason. Like, I don't think it's dirty. I don't think anything like that. It's just personal reasons.
My favorite.
Oh, and the time
No,
sorry.
you go ahead.
And say the time I took the bus the wrong direction, I ended up at a Walgreens that had just been robbed.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna just not take the public bus anymore because I get lost too easily.
There are few places safer to be than a place that had just been robbed.
Yeah, true. I mean, they let us stand in the breezeway,
Ooh.
like Walgreens have. But they're like, you can't come in any further. We've just been robbed. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I had to call my then boyfriend to pick me up, and he was really mad because it's me and a friend, and he was really, really mad. So we were like, go to KFC. I'll buy you something. So we bought him KFC to make up for it.
Oh my.
He was still mad.
Gosh.
It was like an hour drive. So that's that.
My favorite recurring character that I would see on the bus multiple times was this guy who, for those of you who went to Marquette or live in Milwaukee, you may recognize him. There's this guy that sets up a hot dog stand outside of places.
Yes!
And he wears a
does it
Superman
outside
costume when he does it.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I saw him on the
Yes!
bus in that Superman costume like 5 times. And every time I want to be like, hey man, I love your work. I've never bought a hot
Can't you
dog
fly?
from you. But yeah, can't you fly somewhere? Aren't you faster than a speeding bullet?
Me, an a-hole. Can't you fly? Like,
That's a good way to get punched.
I know, that's so... Well, hopefully not. I'm a girl. Please don't punch me. I'm not trying to, like, equal rights, but also don't punch me.
I'm just gonna give my rating for the movie.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Actually, before I do, one negative, they really don't bring up
Okay.
the fact that it's a plantation house.
Yeah, they kind of dance around the fact that, like, it's the Deep South,
Yeah.
and since it's the 40s, I mean, like, there's a lot of racial injustice still.
Yeah, they're also...
This is a white people movie starring white people.
The only black
You know
people
what
in
I
the
mean?
movie are servants.
Yeah, this is a
Whether
white
they
person
are
movie.
actual
Like,
servants or they are employees, nurses at the...
yeah.
I'm
I'm not
sorry.
saying this is only a movie for white people or anything like that. I firmly do not believe that. I think anybody can watch whatever movie they want, But
It is a movie by
it is
white
not-
people.
yeah, it is definitely a movie made by white people without a single person of color in the room. They probably had like one Italian and were like, that counts, right? And we're all like, no, that's Europe. Like,
Yeah, the cinematographer was French.
yeah, that does not count. That is not a person of color. That is a white man. A white man?
No!
But yeah, the only people of color on the set were the two people playing servants, and I think there's one little boy that dances with Ryan Gosling at some point.
Yeah. So anyway, my rating, I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. I loved this. I thought that it was, yes, it hits every trope that you think it's going to hit. Yes, you know exactly how the movie's going to end, at least with the Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams part of it. Maybe the combined death you didn't see coming, but it's equally as sappy.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of the dialogue is very silly.
Yeah, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. Okay, when she's saying to him, in another life, I could have been a bird. Say I was a bird.
No.
Reminds me of how, as a joke, I saw this on TikTok once. It's that TikTok trend that's like my loofah watching me cry in the shower after I asked my boyfriend if he'd still love me if I had 3 hairs like Charlie Brown. I say that to Gage all the time. I can't remember. I think it was because of this movie. I was like sobbing from the movie, and Gage is like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like going on and on and on, and then I go, "And you wouldn't love me if I only had 3 hairs like Charlie Brown." That's a reoccurring joke in our house.
Anna asked me once if I would love her if she didn't have limbs, and I was like,
See?
probably not. I don't know.
Dan!
If she had never had limbs, I don't know.
Feeling like a fool for trying. Like that, just crying. If she's crying in the shower later listening to that song, it's your fault.
She's
Just
already
remember that.
showered twice today. She's not going to shower a
Oh,
third time.
That's not good for your skin,
No.
Anna.
Yeah, call her out. Drag her.
Anna, I hope you're using lotion.
So much. Oh my gosh.
Good. Me too.
But I gave all those negative, like, tropes that it hits everything. But it does it so well. It hits every trope so well. It's everything. You may be expecting it. You may be like, oh, I know it's coming next. But you want it to happen. You want these people to get together, even though the characters themselves shouldn't go together. But you still want to see everything come together as it should.
Yeah. I feel like this movie, I mean, we have old-timey romance films, of course. But I feel like there hadn't really been a standout, all the tropes, like super just cheesy, tacky, over-the-top romance movie in a long time. Because, we have, like I said, the Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan movies of the 80s, which I love so much.
And the 90s.
But those are
You've Got
not...
Mail.
Yeah, and the 90s. But those are not like this movie at all.
No, it doesn't... Those are pointed...
It's like a happy.
They're happy, and they're also advertised and made for the 25 to 35-year-old range of people working day jobs who just want, like, a romance that fits within there, not the teenagers thinking, oh, this is what everything is going to be like. It's going to be great to be like this. Because that's what this was definitely marketed to a younger audience.
We want young Tom Hanks in tight pants.
Younger.
I'll say it.
Tighter.
With lots of hair.
Maybe too much hair.
No. Hairier.
The 1 star that I take off of my rating is for the entirety of the one scene where they are in France. And where Ryan Gosling and E from Entourage are soldiers, and they're walking through the snow in France, and it gets bombed, and his friend dies. And Ryan Gosling reacts by kind of just like staring at him. You don't remember that scene at all. I don't remember
that at all. Where was I?
I don't know. Probably sobbing, thinking about what's going on.
Where did you watch this movie, Dan?
On HBO Max.
Okay, that's where I watched it too. I probably was crying during that scene, so I don't really remember that. I was too busy crying my eyes out. Thanks, though.
What would you rate it out of 5?
3.5.
Oh, wow.
Just because it is so cheesy, I don't want to give it the whole shebang. I like this movie. I'll never admit to liking this movie in public, though. If you were like to hold a gun to my head and be like, say you like The Notebook, I'd be like, I hate it. Like, no, I'm kidding. I would be like, I love it. I love every second of it. I cry the whole time. No, like it's when I went through my hardcore sappy romantic phase in high school, this was not my go-to at all.
Okay.
But I like it. I just can't watch it that often because I know of the emotional trauma that's to follow.
Yeah. Maybe I like it as much as I do because I never went through the sappy emotional phase. And I haven't seen like these romantic dramas. This is basically outside of like Casablanca and The Philadelphia Story, which isn't even a drama.
Okay.
But like
Okay.
movies that came out when my grandparents weren't even born. Outside of those, I don't watch movies like this. Like, does Marriage Story count? Not really.
Is that the one that has
Adam Driver punching a
ScarJo
wall.
and Adam
Yeah.
Driver? Yeah, that doesn't count at
Does
all.
Little Women count?
Ooh.
Because Little Women is probably
No, but-
the other like recent one that I saw that's in the same relative genre. So it's partially the newness of it to me.
You know what? I always confuse. Sorry, this just reminded
You're
me.
good.
When you said Philadelphia Story,
Are you thinking about the
I always
Tom Hanks Philadelphia AIDS movie?
yeah, I had to Google it because I was like, is he talking about Tom Hanks and Antonio Banderas, or is he talking about something else? I always confuse. That movie's called Philadelphia. It's not my fault. They're very similar.
It is very
They're
similar.
both stories that take place in Philadelphia. Okay, both of which spark Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John in my head.
You know, I think that Philadelphia maybe mentions AIDS a little bit more than the Philadelphia Story.
Just like once or twice.
Maybe, you know. Everybody in
Maybe.
1940 was it 1940? Yeah, in 1940. Talking about AIDS, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because that's when that was around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Will this movie be better, worse, or the same with Jonathan Taylor Thomas as E from Entourage, Kevin Connolly? Short King.
Better. No, I know. I was thinking. I was like, what short king do I want? I was interchanging them because, I mean, they're both really fine.
They are.
You know what I mean? Like, they're both really cute. I think the same, actually. You know, short kings in this movie, since they're not the lead, interchangeable.
That's true. And I couldn't put him as Noah or as Lon because we know the answer. It would be worse because JTT, for as beautiful as he is not one of people's sexiest men alive. Would this move?
Ooh, I just Googled Kevin Connolly. He's still a snap.
Well, he looks exactly the
He's
same.
5'5".
Yeah, he's looked the same for like the past 25 years.
Ooh, he's a little cutie. I love a short man. Okay.
Would it be better, worse, or the same with Jimmy Stewart as Old Noah, or Duke as he is
Yes.
credited?
Oh, old Noah.
I think it would be worse.
Who calls him Duke?
He
Sorry.
introduces himself, or like his friend at the beginning when he asks, "You still alive?" I think he says, "You're still alive, Duke."
So it's mentioned for 1
Yeah,
second.
and in the credits it says Duke.
Okay, well anyway. Sorry. Would it be the same, worse, or better?
I think it would be worse. I don't. Jimmy Stewart, for as good of an actor as he is, he couldn't do the realistic, like, dementia patient caring for that is done.
Yeah. I mean, drama... I mean, they say comedy is harder than drama, but drama's challenging in a lot of ways, too.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like anybody can just walk up and do a brilliant performance.
And it's not like Jimmy Stewart isn't a talented dramatic actor.
No. But I think his voice might be too silly for it.
He is... now that we're just going straight into a Jimmy Stewart acting critique podcast,
Yeah, let me critique
31 years
his
after his
performances.
death,
Yes.
he's too showy of an actor for something like this.
Yeah, I think the style of movies from when he was around and when he was acting in movies
absolutely.
is just so different.
So different.
Because now it's much more realistic than it was back then.
Yeah, back then
it was so much more over the top.
It was like stage shows. Not saying that stage shows aren't
Mm-hmm.
realistic, but like the vaudeville style stage show.
Yeah.
Some fun trivia that I found that I'll mention before we wrap things up. Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams started dating during filming.
Oh,
That was
interesting.
after they hated each other and wanted both of them to be replaced on it. And then the director
Oh.
basically put them in a room and had them scream at each other until they got over it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, like... I don't know. They're exactly that couple is what I'm
Basically, yeah.
Which is so odd because they both seem like such nice people. Not that I know them in real life, but like they come across as normal-ish rich people.
Yeah, normal Canadian rich people. And they're Canadian even, and all Canadians, as we all know, to stereotype everyone, very nice. The other choices to play the role of Noah before Nick Cassavetes signed on as director, because Steven Spielberg was originally attached to direct this.
Can you imagine? This would have been a whole different film.
But do you know who he considered?
Who?
Tom Cruise.
No, trash.
Justin Timberlake.
Wait a second.
That would have been... I would have liked that. That would have been pretty good.
I would have seen that.
Yeah.
I would have been first in line for that one.
2004 JT with the buzz cut.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of into that.
Too.
I kind of want to see that.
This was the third adaptation of a Nicholas Sparks novel. I don't know what the first one was, but the second one is Mandy Moore's A Walk to Remember.
Dan, okay, not to skip ahead, but when I tell you I am so hype to talk about that movie next week, when we were at my parents' house and I was trying to find the DVD, I sang her song the whole time.
You did?
Yeah, I still know it. I know every word, my dude. Get ready.
I have only ever seen Mandy Moore act in one thing.
Is it This Is Us?
It's Entourage.
Goodbye. I'm hanging up. Didn't you ever see Tangled?
Is she the voice?
Yeah, she's the princess.
Okay, well I've heard her act, but I've only ever seen her act in Entourage, where she plays the role of Mandy Moore.
Yes, love that. No, it's her and Zachary Levi in that one.
Fun. The last piece of trivia that I have is that Rachel McAdams and James Marsden are the two actors from this movie who have been in Marvel movies, with James Marsden having been in the X-Men film series, Rachel McAdams in Doctor Strange. So that's fun. That's it, really.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's a good movie. We both recommend it. Go see it if you haven't. If you've listened all the way through to this and you haven't seen it, I question your judgment.
Just go watch it. Nobody's gonna judge you. Like, you can say, "Oh, it's a stupid movie. I'm never gonna watch." Everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
Like, at this point in your life, nobody's gonna judge you for watching The Notebook. We've all seen it. We all know what it's about. We all know that it's sappy and stupid. We've all seen it. And swallow your pride. Watch the movie. Be one of us.
Just for like a general life advice, nobody cares what you do.
Amen.
We're all too busy thinking about ourselves. Do what you want.
Watch whatever movie you want to watch. You know what? Tell your boyfriend that you don't want to eat the frozen pizza you have in your fridge and order Domino's pizza instead because you just don't feel like making it. That's okay.
Do it. Self-care.
Don't do that every day.
It's self-care.
Self-care is knowing you have a pepperoni pizza in the freezer and ordering one from Domino's anyway. Because you want a lava cake.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to this episode. We will be back next week talking about another Nicholas Sparks. I don't know if I could say classic. I haven't seen it. I mocked this before I saw it.
Dan, it's a classic. Dan, I want you to know my friend Eliza texted me today and I was like, I'm so sad from watching Notebook. She's like, you know what? You should watch A Walk to Remember. I was like, say no more.
The only thing
I was like, I'm already on it.
The only thing I could say about A Walk to Remember is dare you to move.
Oh God, I make you like today never happened. Oh my God.
So anyway, we'll be back next week with A Walk to Remember. If you would like to find the show on the internet, you can do so. Facebook.com/andinconclusion, Twitter @andinconclusion, Instagram @inconclusionpodcast. If you want to support the show, you can do so on Patreon, patreon.com/inconclusion, or just spread the word.
Give us your money.
Yes. Give us your money. Thank you, Satan.
You're welcome.
Spread the word. Tell your friends. That's the best way that you could help us get more people to listen. And if you have any movies that you want us to talk about, look, we'll do anything. to get more listeners. So
Yeah, true.
as long as it's not Joker,
Dan!
we have to save Joker for like our 100th episode or something.
You're right.
That is
You're
a
right. Say no more,
milestone.
fam. That was a huge bribe you just laid on the
I
table for
know.
me. But okay, yes.
Yeah, we have to last another year and a half.
We can do it. Say no more, fam. We can do it.
Wait until episode 100 where I light myself on fire while recording the podcast.
And I come dressed as a clown.
If you want to find me on the internet, I am on Twitter at DanO'Keefe86, on Instagram at DLRAAR, and I think I have a Lego Makers Forum account.
Dan,
I'm going to keep digging through the depths of what I have accounts where you can follow me. Anna, where can they find you?
you can find me on Instagram at AutomusPrime818, or you can find me on Twitter at AutobotsRollOut, capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and the O in Roll and the O in Out are zeros.
Are you ready for a walk to remember?
Dan, my tear ducts aren't, but the rest of my body is.
So tune in next week where Anna
Okay.
will be a shell of a person.
I'm just gonna say right now, I recognize that A Walk to Remember is a lot cheesier than The Notebook. I'm going into this. Dan, don't judge me. I just really love this movie, okay?
I am going in with an open mind.
Go into it as though we're watching I'll Be Home for Christmas again.
I didn't like I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I'm preparing you for, the lowest standard you could possibly have.
Okay, everybody, stay safe, have fun, wear a mask. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm really mad that you made me watch this movie. I cried the whole time.